What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Sports. Flyers. They keep winning. They keep winning. They keep looking good. Even though I thought there was a lot of this game where the Flyers definitely got outplayed by the Nashville Predators. They definitely did. But. Dan Vladar, baby. Dan Vladar. Looking good. After a week off, probably should have had a shutout tonight if it wasn't from a turnover by Owen Tippett, but I digress. Dan Vladar kept you in the game, especially when you were getting outplayed in that first period, because let's be real, the Flyers were definitely getting outplayed a lot in that first period. They were lucky that it was tied. Dan Vladar looked good. He was good the entire night, kept them involved, and then when you eventually wake up, you get some offense. What do you know? Trevor Zegras, how do you do? He looks great. 2 goals again, 3 points on the night. And Matvei Michkov. Matvei Michkov has arrived, boys. Matvei Michkov is here. 2 assists. And one of those was by a brilliant play by him using his body and his feet to keep the puck alive in the Nashville zone as Trevor Zegras is entering and crossing the blue line. Simple little pass over to him, and then Zegras just wires one by UC Soros, putting the Flyers up 1-0 in the second period. Michkov with the assist. Trevor Zegras, what a shot. What a shot. And once again, that line doing wonders in this game in that second period. Matvei Michkov has the puck behind the net. Nashville looks like, honestly, they're preparing for Michkov to do a Michigan. It really does look like it. It really does look like they're prepared for him to do a Michigan. He doesn't do a Michigan, obviously. You got Jamie Drysdale coming up the left wall, coming by the left circle, wide open for Michkov to pass it for him, and Drysdale buries it into the net, getting his first goal of the year. 2-0 Flyers there. Nashville eventually does make it 2-1, but then the Flyers make it 3-1 off of a power play. Beautiful goal by Trevor Zegras. Got a little luck, but hey, when you're going good, the bounces go your way. Flyers win a faceoff on the power play in the third period. They get it over to Trevor Zegras. He claps it, goes off of one of the Nashville defenders trying to block the shot, goes into the net. 3-1. Second goal of the game there for Trevor Zegras. And then Nashville, during a 4-on-4 with like 5 minutes left to go in the game, they decided to get aggressive, pulled their goaltender. Flyers go down the other way a few seconds later. Travis Konecny pots it into the open net, the easiest goal he'll score in his life. Makes it 4-1 Flyers. That's where your game ends. Flyers win another game on home ice. Hey, when you got a goaltender that's keeping you involved in games, because realistically, Flyers probably should not have won this game with the way they were getting outplayed by Nashville for a lot of it. Let's be real. When you have a goaltender that is stealing you a game, keeping you involved, and then eventually the boys get going, that's good things. That's good things. Dan Vladar, he's keeping you involved in the games. He's been spectacular, and no one really expected this from him. No one expected this. He's been great. He's been fantastic. Another game with sub 2 goals against. Only one goal against tonight. Probably should have been a shutout. Let's be real, if it wasn't from a bad turnover by Owen Tippett. He's been great, man. He's been great. I really hope he keeps this up because he has been fantastic. Now, there is a little bit of bad news with this game. Sean Couturier did not come back for the second period. It looks like he took a little bit of friendly fire in the first period. I think it was from a shot by, Noah Cates or something like that. Went off of Couturier's midsection. That's what they're saying. And Couturier looked a little gimpy, during that first period. Did not come out for the second. He was officially ruled out for the game. They didn't disclose what the injury was, so hopefully we find out something in tomorrow or something like that, or at least if Rick Tocchet talked about it after the game, or if they just have no idea what the problem is. I guess they're just playing on the side of precaution. So that definitely was a factor, because Rick Tocchet had to roll a lot of different combinations out there just because to supplement the loss of Sean Couturier. He was really mixing up those lines, and hey, guys stepped up. Guys stepped up for you. Trevor Zegras has been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Sign him now. Extend him now. Why the fuck not? People say he sucked in Anaheim. wasn't a good defender, wasn't good in his own zone, couldn't fucking find a way to register points on the point sheet. The dude has 11 points to start the year. He got 4 goals. He's got 4 goals in his last 2 games. No, actually, not his last 2 games. I don't think he scored in the Pittsburgh game. It was against the Islanders. 4 goals in his last 3 games. So good on him. He's fun to watch. He is really good. Really good. Now, granted, very small sample size from Trevor Zegras. We don't know how the rest of the season is going to play out. It's only the first month of the season. But what a way to close out the first month of the season, especially with this schedule that the NHL handed you, with a lot of tough teams that you were playing, and you finish out that schedule, I believe, 5-3-1? 5-3-1, if we look at everything right. So, yeah, no, 6-3-1. 6-3-1 after tonight's win. And you're 6-1 on home ice. So all of your wins have come on home ice. So they're playing really good at home. And realistically, their only bad game at home was that loss against Winnipeg, where they just got completely outworked, I guess you could say, or just completely suffocated by Winnipeg. That was the only bad game they played at home. Now, eventually, you're going to have to start going on the road. They've been playing a lot of home games to start the year, so they don't have a win on the road yet. They're 0-2-1 on the road. I'm sure things will change there. Just continue doing what you're doing right now. Now, granted, Sam Ersson is on IR. Surprise, surprise. Tweaked his groin. Surprise, surprise. Yesterday. He's on IR. He has to be on there for at least a week, I believe. So, Flyers called up Alexei Kolosov. So you're probably going to be seeing Alexei Kolosov in one of these games in the near upcoming, because they play a back-to-back at home this weekend against Toronto and Calgary. So I would expect Kolosov to get one of those games, most likely against Calgary. I would assume you would start Dan Vladar against the better team in Toronto. So I would assume that would be the case. Vladar starts Saturday. You put Kolosov in on Sunday, which then sets up Vladar for the road trip, the 2-game road trip that you do have next week. So that definitely would make sense from that standpoint. But still, especially with the way that you were getting outplayed in this game. What a way to win. You only had 18 shots on net. There was a lot of the situations in this game where the Flyers were very reluctant to shoot the puck. But then once they finally started, having a shooting mentality, pucks started going into the goddamn net. Surprise, surprise. Owen Tippett had a breakaway in this game on a pass from Michkov, forced a turnover, sprung Owen Tippett. Tippett did not score there. That's really where the momentum started for the Flyers. They got that breakaway. Nothing happened there. Michkov also had like a slight breakaway in this game, but the defender caught up to him because I guess the transition wasn't the best. But Michkov still had a backhanded chance on net. Definitely was Michkov's best game of the season. That play, keeping the puck alive in the offensive zone as Zegras is entering, that is some very good stuff, and I feel like many people are talking about it, because the way that he was just able to find a way to keep that puck alive with his feet, using the boards and everything like that, with 2 guys draped on him, by the way. Good stuff. Fantastic stuff. And then Zegras was just the fucking laser to get it past Saros. The penalty kill has actually been pretty good on home ice, too. I believe, when was the last time they've allowed a power play goal, if I'm not mistaken? It's interesting. And the refs, they definitely kept their whistles silent tonight, because the Flyers didn't get their first power play until the 3rd period. And thank God, when you finally get that power play chance, you score. You score, thanks to Trevor Zegras. Crazy. Crazy what happens when you have good goaltending and a decent power play. I wonder what their power play ranks actually in the league now, with everything the way it's going. So, in terms of the shots, like I said, you only had 18 shots on net. Nashville had 33. You were outshot 10-3 in the first period, 14-8 in the second. You were outshot basically in every period this entire game. That's how good Dan Vladar was and kept you involved. So, good stuff. Absolutely good stuff. So, it's nice to see that. It is very nice to see that. Some other things that were notable from the box score tonight. From the Flyers' perspective, obviously, Zegras had 3 points. He was a +2 on the night. Michkov has 2 points with 2 assists. And then, Jamie Drysdale continues to be very strong in his own defensive zone. I love what I'm watching from Jamie Drysdale. Cam York, Travis Sanheim, they were both +2 on their respective ends. Cam York had an assist. And just look at Dan Vladar, man. 32 saves on 33 shots against. Only 1 goal allowed. Save percentage in that goals against is only going to improve after this game. Love it. Absolutely love it. I actually do want to see now where, like, in terms of the overall league, where the Flyers, like, penalty kill and power play ranks. I'm not sure if it's going to show that in terms of, okay, it's not going to show it in the standings. What about the team stats? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Where's the penalty kill ranks? Flyers penalty kills so far, ranked 8th in the National Hockey League. I'm not sure if that's updated after tonight. They're ranked 5th, 89.2%. The teams that are better than them, New York Rangers, Colorado Avalanche, the Winnipeg Jets, and the Buffalo Sabres, surprisingly. That's insane. And then for the terms of the Flyers power play is ranked 18th. I'll fucking tank a ranked 18th power play rather than 32nd in the league than what it's been like the past few years. I will take 18th. I will take 18th. That is a drastic improvement. Holy shit. What are some other teams? Jesus Christ, the fucking Carolina Hurricanes have the worst power play in the league. I would not expect that from them. Same thing with the fucking Toronto Maple Leafs. Tampa Bay has a bad power play. What the fuck? Holy shit. Holy shit. Crazy. Crazy. Who has the least goals against? The Flyers have the second goals against in the league. Second least goals against. They only have allowed 24 goals this year. The team that's better than them in that category is the Washington Capitals. That's Dan Vladar for you. That is Dan Vladar. Some call him Darth Vladar. It's been fantastic. It's been fantastic. Let's see. Mitch. So here we go. What I was talking about with Michkov, like, you know, Nashville was thinking about Michkov doing a Michigan behind the net before the Drysdale goal. Michkov confirmed post-game he thought of doing a Michigan before passing it to Jamie Drysdale for the third goal of the night. Ritocket was surprised. He said, really? Michkov didn't tell me that. He made the right play. That was a big goal because Nashville was all over us. That's funny. That is funny. Trevor Zegras, 12 points in his first 10 games as a Flyer. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Absolutely love it. He has 12 points. I thought he had 11. I guess they didn't register on the second goal or something like that. From what I saw, because I remember seeing it. He had like 11 points in the game or something like that. Yep, he has 12, 4 goals, 8 assists. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Nice. Love seeing that. Anything else? Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that is interesting. Here's a comment from Trevor Zegras. I think I saw something here. Where was that at? I saw something about Trevor Zegras. Am I missing it? Here we go. This is Trevor Zegras. I mean, my teammates for sure. They make it a fun place to come to work every day, and the fans are unbelievable. So fun to play in front of them, and they bring so much good energy. So it's awesome. Trevor Zegras, what it's like been playing for Philadelphia. I think he also said something about him and Jamie Drysdale having to, like, carpool the games recently because Jamie's car is in the shop. And he said that maybe we got to keep carpooling the home games more often because we're just finding so much success. Yeah, maybe you got to keep carpooling. Maybe you got to keep carpooling. Maybe that's got to be the case. Okay, so in terms of the Flyers' schedule upcoming, obviously this was the last game in the month of October. Tomorrow is Halloween. Their next game is on November 1st and the 2nd. The home back-to-back against Toronto and Calgary. So that'll be very interesting. Then they go on the road on the 4th to play Montreal. And then the 6th, they're in Nashville. So they're seeing Nashville frequently here. Then they're home on the 8th against Ottawa. They got 3 days off after that. Home on a Wednesday, the 12th against Edmonton. Then they have a back-to-back road, the 14th and the 15th in St. Louis and Dallas. Then they're off 4 days after that. Crazy stuff here. They have a home game against St. Louis on the 20th, and a home game against the Devils. That'll be the first time they're seeing them. And then the week of Thanksgiving, they got 4 road games. 24th in Tampa, 26th in Florida. I would assume that's the last time they play Florida this season. And then on Black Friday, they play against the Islanders in New York. And then the 29th, they play in New Jersey against the Devils. Then they go to December, the rest of the schedule, blah, 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 blah. I think they have like a 6-game, yeah, they have a fucking 6-game homestand to start December. Jesus fucking Christ. The people that made this schedule, man. My God. My God. My God. Trevor Zegras says, you come to a sports town like Philip. This was post-game, I'm assuming, with JJ and Bush. You come into a sports town like Philadelphia, you don't want to embarrass yourself. Well, he's definitely doing a he's definitely doing a good first impression. Love seeing what Zegras has been doing. Extend him. Extend him. Extend him. Oh, man. Nope, do not see. And also with Jet Luchenko officially being sent down to the OHL, there was a lot of freaking fake rumors about him being traded in the OHL to Nesbitt's team. That was fake. That was fake. Let's see. Nope, I don't see anything else. Do not see anything else. We do have a voicemail here, though, from Sean on the Anytime Hotline, so we might as well get to that. I see a couple of comments here from Franco as well, so we will get to Sean's voicemail, we'll get to you, Franco, then we'll end it off. Got more work to do tonight, obviously, so let's get to it.
Workmanlike, solid victory for the Flyers tonight. The first period was Coleman-inducing, but they picked it up in the second and third. And somewhere up in the press box, Danny Briere is smiling because two of his big acquisitions are paying huge dividends, especially early. Trevor Zegras, solid pretty much every night, and you can say the same about Dan Vladar. He's been, the best goalie the Flyers have had in terms of consistency in years that I've seen. Granted, it's early, but a good start. Now, unfortunately, Couturier getting hurt with Ersson being hurt again, surprise, surprise, the injury bug is hitting this team. But, you got to overcome. I'm sure that Kolosov will get a start at some point this weekend. We'll see how he does. But I said it the last time I called, this home stand early, you got to take advantage of this in your schedule. If you want to be relevant at the end of the year in terms of playoffs, you have to get 2 points a night during this stretch. And for the most part, the Flyers are doing that.
Yeah, they've been playing a lot of home games. They've been playing their best hockey on home ice, and they always talk about once you get around American Thanksgiving, that's really when you can determine who's a playoff team and who's not a playoff team. So yeah, if they keep up this good stretch and you get around American Thanksgiving and you're still in a playoff spot, because right now if you are looking at the standings, granted it is October, I know it's a very early look at the standings, but you are in the first wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. Now, just basically every team at this point is separated by 1, 2, or 3 points here. But you are in that first wildcard spot. You're also 1 point behind the Carolina Hurricanes for third place. You're 3 points behind Pittsburgh for second place, and you're 3 points behind the Devils for first place. So, just take care of your business in your home games when you have them. You got to win your road games, obviously, too. But you are taking care of business. That's the most important thing. So, if the Flyers can find themselves still in a playoff spot by American Thanksgiving, they're definitely going to be battling for the rest of the season for a playoff spot, I would assume. So that's when you really start to gauge the playoff people. But, seriously, if you look at this Eastern Conference right now is just neck and neck. Washington's behind the Flyers by a point in the second wildcard spot. Then Columbus is the tied. Seriously, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4-way tie right here with teams. With Boston, Tampa, Columbus, and Washington. They all have 12 points. But Boston, they played 13 games. They're 6-7. So Flyers have only played 10 games. Washington's only played 10 games. Columbus has only played 10 games. Florida Panthers, they played 11 games. They have 11 points. Buffalo, they have 11 points. Toronto, they have 11 points. The Rangers, they have 10 points. The Islanders, they have 9 points. So granted, like I said, it's still very early in the season. But it's good to see this. It's good to see what you're doing right now. Right now, who's the best team in the league? It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way tie so far for best team in the league with the Devils, Pittsburgh, Utah, Colorado, Montreal. Interesting. Who's the worst team right now? Calgary and San Jose. That's not shocking. St. Louis is there. Minnesota is there. They're only 3-5-3. Jesus. Islanders are there. Predators are there. Vancouver's there. Granted, it's still so early in the season, so that's why everyone says around American Thanksgiving. So, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. let's see what else is there. We got the comments right here, so I might as well get to those. And then go off onto the workforce, because I got to do the editing for Stowe the Goalie. And I don't know if Brodes is doing a recap, because I know he's on the radio tonight. So who knows? Who knows? Who the hell knows? Answering a text message real quickly. Franco? The two former Ducks showed out tonight, plus Michkov with a good performance. Yeah, Michkov, he's definitely getting better and like slowly better and better each game. This definitely was his best game in overall terms of looking like Matvei Michkov. So I'm sure he's just going to get better as the season goes along. Hopefully Coots, yeah, it doesn't even look like there's anything on Shonka Torge, so unless I haven't seen anything, I don't think Tocchet gave any update on Coots. Flyers aren't disclosing the injury, blah, 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 blah. Nope, no one said anything. Nope, no update on Couturier from Tocchet, by the way. Still said they're evaluating, but it sounded like he was indeed from blocking a shot. Okay, so they're definitely going to wait and see. So I'm assuming we won't find anything out, I would assume, until tomorrow on Couturier. So that's interesting. What are your thoughts on the trade the Flyers made earlier today? It's a trade between, for two AHL players. Granted, the guy they got, Tuomala, he's young. Clearly just didn't work out in the Flyers system, and I guess they just didn't like what he was doing down in Lehigh. You trade for a young defenseman. I believe he was drafted in the second round like a couple of years ago. He's like 22 years old. There's some intrigue with, some Twitter scouts and all that stuff, but I really can't gauge all that stuff. They did call Emil Andre up. So there definitely is interesting because they got a player that's very similar to Andre. Height, stature, play style, and all that stuff. So I wonder if there's something else in the works maybe for a trade. I'm not entirely sure. But it definitely would be interesting. If the Flyers do see themselves as a playoff team, I would be interested to see if they get very aggressive in the trade market at some point this season. That would be very interesting. Because there's definitely points in the season where trades get very aggressive, then they die down until the deadline, and the deadline's crazy with trades. So it'll be interesting. What else? Tyler, Trevor saw Trevor from GTA 5 or saw old Broad Street Foley's video and got fired up. Zegras is probably definitely playing with a chip on his shoulder. Because you got to think about it, how low his value was when the Flyers traded for him. They traded a second round pick and a couple of late picks and Ryan Poehling. You would think to yourself, when Trevor Zegras comes into the league, how great he was playing with Anaheim and all that stuff. You would think if they were considered trading him, they would go for at least a package. First round picks or top prospects or something like that. And granted, it's not all Anaheim's fault for why Zegras wasn't playing. Granted, Zegras wasn't playing good. There was injuries, concerns, and all that stuff with Zegras there as well. He was dealing with those. I also think the head coach that he had a lot of the time when he was there had it out for him. So there definitely was a little bit of disconnect there, and maybe the reason why he was playing so poorly. But definitely, maybe seeing the trade that he got, the package that he got dealt for, and coming into a new city for a fresh start, a fresh coat of paint, and maybe Rick Tocchet's system maybe just fits perfectly for Trevor Zegras. Maybe there's a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, trying to prove Anaheim wrong. Maybe there's something to that. You also have people that he knows here. He's best friends with Jamie Drysdale. He knows Cam York and all that stuff. So maybe there's a thing. And also playing for a more player-friendly coach and, more of a player's coach like Rick Tocchet, who is a 100% better communicator than probably what he ever had in Anaheim. So maybe there is something to that, to the start of the season for Trevor Zegras. He does have chemistry with Michkov, so there's definitely something to that. Those guys got to stay together. You just got to find them the consistent, line mate for those two. Dvorak has been fine, but, if you want, a full offensive potential, you probably got to add somebody else to that line, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes, but he's playing good. And if Michkov gets better, sky's the limit. And then also if, a guy like a Travis Konechny finds a way to pop more goals in and play better, there's a lot of improvement for this team with the way Jamie Drysdale's playing. He's been their best defenseman overall, in terms of defense and all that stuff. Sanheim's been solid. York's been solid. We'll see where everything else goes from there. Dan Vladar's been very good. And also the Noah Cates line has also been very good as always, as usual. They're the most consistent line that they've on this team that in terms of just night in and night out performances. So, like I said, right now, sky's the limit for this Flyers team, and it's just fun to watch Flyers hockey again. It's fun. I think that's the most important thing. Expectation-wise, we all knew from the season there was really no expectations for this team because nobody knew what this team was going to be. We didn't know if they were going to try to fight in a weak Eastern Conference for a playoff spot or they were going to be a bottom of the barrel team again. And right now they're fighting like a playoff team. And granted, it's only October. There's a whole lot of season left. There's 70 plus games left in the season. So anything can change in from that point. But right now, they're playing meaningful hockey. They're playing fun hockey. Guys are standing out. And they're winning games with some of their guys aren't playing their best. And maybe when those guys start playing their best, maybe something lifts from them. So we'll see. We'll see. But it's fun. But it's fun right now. It's fun going down to the Xfinity Mobile Arena, almost at the Wells Fargo Center, and seeing a team that's winning. They're playing very good on home ice. That's also a very good thing. Play on home ice, which some people would go to the Flyers games, which fans would attend, because there's definitely games where there's a lot of fucking patches in the seats. So that's annoying. But hopefully when the team starts getting better, if they do make a playoff spot this year, maybe the fans will start to come back. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So that'll do it for tonight, everybody. I appreciate you all tuning in as always. So don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service with the YouTube algorithm. Great deal of service. Also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK. Great deal, don't pass it up. Appreciate y'all. Tyler, last comment. I'm still a bit mad about Torts. Well, he's on ESPN now. Don't have to worry about him anymore. So, appreciate y'all. In terms of the schedule for this week, Sixers do play tomorrow. Maybe we'll talk Sixers tomorrow after that game. Flyers, obviously, on Saturday and Sunday, so there's stuff to talk about there. So,